What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into my channel. I want to talk today about warm-ups, all right? So specifically for squat, bench, and deadlift because I'm a power lifter. So I get a lot of questions and people stress about how much should I put on the bar to warm up, and they just don't understand the structure of actually warming up to your top sets, okay? Now this is gonna change for you based on what your body needs, how old you are, how good you slept, how well you ate, how hydrated you are. There's so many different factors that play into it. So please just use this as a loose guideline, okay? This is not like science-based or anything like that. This is just what I have found to work for me over the last 4 years. And it has changed a little bit as I got to know myself as a lifter. All right, so we start with mobility, kind of getting the joints moving through their full ranges of motion, warming up that synovial fluid. That's really important to help your joints move how they should. And then we start with stability, whether it's like core, whether it's priming that pattern that we're going to be doing that day. So if it's a squat, we may be doing something for the adductors, we may be doing something for the anterior tibialis, we might be doing something for the knee or for the ankle. And also stuff for the core. But we want to then take it to the lighter weight. So staying within that pattern that you're going to be doing to kind of get the mind ready for the work that's ahead. In the second portion of my warm-up, I'm going to start with the bar. So for squat and bench, I start with just an empty barbell, right? I want to get everything. I want to get the barbell, see how it feels on my back. I want to see if I'm moving through my full range of motion, because if I'm not, I may need to take it back here to steps 1 and 2, all right? So I start with the bar, see how I feel. For deadlift, typically I'll add a little bit of weight to the bar just because you're pulling it from the floor. So like doing an RDL with the barbell, just to me, it doesn't start priming my mind. I would do like an RDL here with dumbbells or something like that to prime the body for that. So let's take this as an example. Let's take a top set of 3x5 at 200 pounds, which would be my 73%. Not necessarily the hardest thing I've ever done, but for 3 sets of 5 reps, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. And so the rep schemes during the warm-ups are probably the most important thing to me, is to know that as I work through that set, as I get to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 reps, that I'm ready for that, okay? So the barbell that I use is 55 pounds, so I'll do 3 to 4 reps with the barbell. Then I'll just add a little bit of weight to make it 125 pounds for about 2 to 3 reps. And this is kind of where I start to feel, okay, maybe I'm feeling a little bit more sluggish than I'd like, or maybe this felt super easy. So in my brain, I'm like, might be time to kind of like really go after it today. And then I'm gonna add about 20 pounds, do 1 to 2 reps, see how you feel. If that felt really easy, it might be time to just get into your working sets. If that felt really hard, you may need to possibly reconsider, if this is what you want to do today, or if you're going to actually hit your 5 reps. Like, I'm not saying skip reps or miss reps, but you may need to get your mind right a little bit before you start adding in your top sets. And how I do this, you typically do this without a belt or knee sleeves. But of course, when I add the belt and the knee sleeves and the wrist wraps, like, things start to feel much better. Like, those things add confidence, whether you like to admit it or not, that we use for powerlifting do help. So typically, I add the belt, the knee sleeves, and I will get pretty close to my top set. I don't typically do 1 rep, I'll typically do 2, just because it's a multiple rep set. Now, if I was going for a higher percentage, with a lot less reps, I probably wouldn't go this close to my top set or do multiple reps, just because you want to save that for that very, very top single or double. But in this case, it's 5, so we're not really concerned about that. I would begin my working sets. I typically find that I need more of a warm-up, more of that mental priming for squat and bench. Deadlift, I don't do very many sets, just because for me personally, the deadlift is the most fatiguing. So I don't want to wear myself out on those warm-up sets. Like, I don't want to warm up myself to death where I have nothing left for the deadlifts. But for squat and bench, typically I can handle a little bit more of those warm-up sets, and brain needs more repetitions at that lighter weight before I feel ready to do these lifts. So this is the most challenging for me. Squats have been the most challenging mentally. Bench is my favorite, so I'm always ready to send it on bench. But deadlifts, once again, are very fatiguing, so I like to really kind of save it for those top sets. In warm-ups, in my opinion, there's no scientific, way to do it. It's really dependent on that day and how you personally feel and how you recovered. And if you are fueled enough, you might need to get some fruit snacks or something like that to kind of help you get through that workout on different days. So don't stress out about the warm-up. Really listen to your body and make sure that you kind of keep track and like practice this in your mind. Like the warm-ups are super important. And the more seriously you take them, the more dialed in that you're going to be with your body and the better your lifts are going to go. So thank you for watching.